King Charles and Queen Camilla are ending a challenging year with some glamour. The King, 75, and Queen, 77, are hosting the Amir of Qatar and his first wife and consort on December 3 and December 4, Buckingham Palace has announced. Details of the visit by His Highness Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani and Her Highness Sheikha Jawaher bint Hamad bin Suhaim Al Thani have yet to be released, but a central part of any visit by foreign heads of state is a banquet at Buckingham Palace, in which the royal women dust down their tiaras. It also comes at the end of the year in which Charles has been treated for cancer and a month after he and Camilla arrived back from a tour to Australia and Samoa. Hello viewers, please remember to subscribe and click on the notifications bell icon, so you will be notified whenever we upload new cookies about the British royal family. While it is unknown which members of the royal family will support the King and Queen during the visit, Kate Middleton and Prince William, both 42, typically help with the welcome for visiting royals, by meeting them and accompanying them to the official arrival moment with the King and Queen at Horse Guards Parade, which is close to the palace. Earlier this year, while undergoing cancer treatment, Princess Kate did not take part, with her husband leading the help for his father at the visit of the Japanese Emperor Naruhito, and Empress Masako of Japan, who were guests at the palace in June. After surprisingly stepping out on October 10 with William, to support the families of 3 children who were killed in a mass stabbing at a Taylor Swift-themed yoga and dance class in Southport, Kate is hoping to attend the Remembrance Sunday commemorations on November 10. Charles, whose first state visit of his reign was from the President of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, in November 2022 visited Qatar 8 times as Prince of Wales. On 2 of those visits, in 2007 and 2013, he was accompanied by Camilla in her role as Duchess of Cornwall, as she was then titled. The couple from Qatar were at King Charles' coronation in May 2023, and the Emir has visited the UK on 8 occasions, the palace says. King Charles, set to ban historic word during upcoming royal tour. King Charles is set to ban a historic word during his upcoming royal tour with Queen Camilla, it has been claimed. The term walkabout will not be used on the King and Queen's tour of Australia and Samoa out of respect for Australia's indigenous communities. The phrase, coined by Queen Elizabeth II 54 years ago, is set to be replaced with opportunity to meet the public, out of respect for the customs and traditions of Aboriginal communities. The term has come to mean a member of the royal family meeting, and greeting well-wishers. However, it is used in Aboriginal culture when a person travels on foot into the bush in times of ritual, meditation, change, grief or coming of age. Therefore, the phrase will not be used by Buckingham Palace during the October trip, the first long-haul tour undertaken by the King since his diagnosis with cancer, according to reports in The Telegraph. This tour is understood to be the first trip where the term has been deliberately avoided. It will be Charles's first return to Australia and Samoa as King and the head of the Commonwealth. The tour has been adapted in line with doctors' advice, Buckingham Palace has confirmed. The 9-day visit will factor in some rest periods after the long-haul travel, and will not include any evening engagements in Australia. The King, who is receiving treatment for cancer at the age of 75, will undertake several engagements relating to the disease. Meanwhile, Queen Camilla, 77, will attend events for her key causes of preventing violence against women, and promoting literacy. Engagements will focus on acknowledging and honoring Aboriginal and Torres Strait Island culture and traditions. The King and Queen will attend a community barbecue, a staple of Australian culture, in Western Sydney, as well as learn about bushfire prevention and native plants. The tour was originally intended to include New Zealand, however, it was scaled back on medical advice. A Buckingham Palace spokesman said, "We've had to, as you would with any visit, think about how you can ensure Their Majesty's energies are preserved to be at their best." There had been some hope earlier in the year for Their Majesties to be able to visit New Zealand. On doctors' advice, and in close consultation with the Australian and New Zealand governments, that wasn't able to take place. We've had to make some difficult decisions about the program with the Australian government, about where their majesties can get to. In other news, the King is spending a quiet weekend in Royal Deeside to mark the second anniversary of his mother's death on Sunday. Queen Elizabeth passed away at Balmoral on September 8, 2022. According to Richard Eden, the Daily Mail's well-connected society diarist, the medical team are also staying at the estate for a meeting to discuss all health matters relating to the royal family. A medical source said, "It's an important get-together." The King, 75, has been undergoing treatment for an unnamed form of cancer. The Queen, 77, who returned to royal duties last week before heading back to Scotland, is thought to be in rude health. Her Majesty met Sandra Tyler and Jill Hitchman, who were both undergoing a chemotherapy session. Noticing that Sandra was wearing a specialist hat which helps to prevent hair loss, she remarked, "You've got your ice cap on." Camilla also engaged in a light-hearted exchange with Paul Holdway, a 55-year-old nurse and patient undergoing a stem cell transplant to treat his blood cancer. Earlier this year, an insider shared a similar sentiment with the Daily Mail. Charles values family above everything, they said, and whatever the course of his relationship with his son, he would never be content with just seeing his grandchildren on the odd video call. The monarch was reportedly keener than ever to make up for lost time with the grandkids he's only met a handful of times. And yet, it's been 3 months since those remarks were made, and the King has still not made a move to impart his wisdom on 2 of his 5 grandkids. Sadly, we won't be holding our breath for it to happen anytime soon. Charles announced in February that he was diagnosed with an undisclosed form of cancer. It was reported earlier this month that he's since halted treatment. According to royal expert Rebecca English via the Daily Mail, Charles' doctors were reportedly happy to briefly pause treatment for the duration of his visit to Australia and Samoa. King Charles could use this Prince Andrew lease loophole to evict him from Royal Lodge as deadline set. Prince Andrew, 64, has been given a deadline to prove he has the funds to refurbish Royal Lodge, with King Charles making a significant security decision on the property. Prince Andrew is facing an end-of-the-year deadline to either prove he can afford to live in Royal Lodge or be evicted, as King Charles is set to make a final move in the battle between the brothers. The Duke of York is currently embroiled in an ongoing row with the Crown Estate over his current living arrangements. The monarch is set to lean on lease requirements which demand regular maintenance of the property, which will cost over £1 million. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like this video and drop comments, and most importantly don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything.